Oh, there we go. Hello.
Oh, there you go. I thought we could have trouble there getting on at one point, to be honest with you.
Hello.
I think Viv had a bit of trouble last night, didn't she?
Sure.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weird Room. I just want to say hello to the boys. Hello, Eric, and hello, Tim. How are you? Good
Hello,
chaps this
mate.
evening?
All right. Getting
Good.
round with work.
Good lad.
Tattooing and drawing and painting.
Blimey. You'll be a multinational next with all the work you're doing.
Oh, I don't know.
How's life treating you, Tim? I know you've not been well, mate. I hope you're on the mend now.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I say just busy with the everyone wants tattoos like yesterday. And I've just got a commission from to investigate. The girls on to investigate.
Oh yeah, you got those girls.
They want me to draw that, do their portraits.
Oh, do they want, they want logos, do they? Or
no, they want a portrait doing. So I'm sure
nice.
I'm not out of line mentioning it. I hope.
What, tattoo portrait?
No.
A proper picture.
Very painting, nice. Yeah.
Very nice. Very.
So that's nice.
That's good. It's nice. I'm sure they won't mind you mentioning that. I wouldn't imagine that's a big secret for them, to be honest with you.
I opened my mouth before I even realised.
No, I'm sure they'll be fine. They seem like nice. They seem like a nice couple of people.
They do, yeah. They're nice girls. I think I've got early onset. I think it's starting.
Early what?
Onset. Early onset. Well, ain't that early?
I think mine started about 10 years ago.
It ain't that early because I'll become an old age pensioner in February. So
it means nothing, though, does it? It means nothing.
Come on, tell my old body that.
Mate, I'll be going downhill since I've got hit 30.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you what, I've even noticed a difference from last year because I used to ride over 100 miles a week on my bike last year.
Yeah, because you're a cyclist, aren't you?
Yeah, but now I know I've put some weight on because since I split up and all that, you get a bit down in the dumps. Don't you?
Of course you do.
I ain't done hardly so much cycling because of this bloody weather we're having, to be honest.
No, I don't think you're alone.
And I just feel knackered all the time at the moment. So
I'll be honest with you, I don't think it matters what age you are, because to be honest, I think it's a general thing. Because since the whole lockdown and stuff, I know it's behind us now. But I think a lot of people fell out of shape and what have you then, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they never really got back into the swing of things. And now they're sort of starting to catch up again, and they're finding it going. But
yeah.
At least you're getting better, mate, and that's good. And what about you, Eric?
I'm good. I'm doing new stuff pretty soon.
Oh, you've made any more new equipment?
Yep. And I'm eventually, not this coming up month, but the month after, I'm hoping to get a few things together where I can make that Ouija board. But I also got something I have to make for you too that I have to figure out how to do. So
okay, buddy, that sounds good to me. We'll just say a good hello to a few people in the chat.
Well, yeah. Let me go.
We got some in, are we?
Sorry, mate.
We got some people in already.
We have, yeah. I'll tell you what, they were knocking the door down when we came in.
I know.
Hey,
Lexi, I hope
hello. Annette's had problems today with the internet, isn't she?
Do you know what, Net? It's been a nightmare, the internet. Hi, Nicola.
Hi, Nicola.
Oh, and that's 60 next year. 60's
young
30.
woman.
Yeah, 60's a new 30.
Yeah, she's a spring chicken. 60.
A spring chicken.
Bloody hell.
So we got. Oh, hi, Bill. The Reverend Wild Bill's in. Hi, you Wild Bill. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Hi, Bill.
What did you say here? Well, hi, Rita.
Rita's in the kitchen.
Oh, you Rita, cool. She's that poor sod. He won't let her out of it. He's a piece of work. He is Eric.
Hi.
Friends.
Looking forward to meeting you. Looking forward to meeting Rita and Eric.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. It'll be good.
Yeah.
It's been a nightmare, Facebook. Do you know what, Nettie? It's been an absolute pig. Facebook and streaming. I've been on even just the internet. The internet has been freezing for me.
Do you think it's something to do with this atmospherics with the weather?
Yeah, either that or I haven't paid the bill.
I wonder if it's got something to do with the weather, though.
It could do. It could.
Because of rain, it's just honest, Eric. The rain has been heavier than I've ever known it. All day.
Terrible.
All day the other day. Can't remember what day it was. All day long.
It was biblical today, wasn't it? It was absolutely sheeting it down earlier on.
All the animals are waiting at the bus stops, Eric.
Yeah.
For the ark to come by.
Don't you guys have thicker walls to begin with?
You what, mate?
Don't you guys have thicker walls to begin with?
Thicker?
The buildings being older?
Not my building's not that old.
It depends where you. It depends where I used to live. Yeah, I lived in Clovelly in North Devon. The walls were over 4 foot thick there.
Yeah.
They were cob.
Yeah.
You know the cob walls.
Mm-hmm.
They're great.
No, they're just most of the newer houses after what Victorian, the terraced houses. They're just two bricks with a bit of a cavity in between.
Yeah. And the inside walls of them are just, they're like, what do they call them? Like sheeting, not chipboard, they're like plasterboard and stuff, aren't they now?
Yeah.
There's no real strength to a lot of them.
So I think I was the Victorians that started with the bricks and just 2 rows of bricks.
That was it, yeah. And then all of a sudden, they do one now. You can put them together in like 20 minutes, can't you? This new one that they've got.
Yeah.
Right. It's still bad weather in Teesside. Never stop. Bloody hell. Yeah. Oh, it's depressing weather, isn't it? It's depressing weather. Never mind. Let's hope we can sort of cheer you up tonight. I hope you're all doing well.
Yeah.
So, this evening, we're going to talk about, as you can see, a chosen subject. We're moving away just slightly for this week, away from little tales and stories and legends and myths and all of that type of thing. I say myth. I think there's a lot of reality in a lot of these myths. If not, they're all reality. But we're going to talk about paganism tonight. And I've been a pagan for a very, very long time, many, many years. And I wouldn't say that I'm a dyed in the wall pagan. I don't do any. I mean, I do celebrate and I do sort of. I mark the Esbats and Sabbats and things like that. The turning of the wheel of the year. So I mark all of that. Hi, you, Catherine. So I do all of that type of stuff, but I'm not what you call a dyed in the wall ardent one. It's not. I try and live my life as a pagan is supposed to live your life. So it's a case of accepting everybody, having love for everybody, just being with people, being around people, and also having an ardent and passionate love for nature, which is the main subject and object of paganism, and try and see the good in everybody and everything. Hard to do sometimes, but you've got to do it, and you've got to rise above it, because it's only by doing that you actually get to the real core of what a person is, by looking beyond their quirks and their little bit of whatever it is, and we've all got them. So I first became a pagan, I suppose. I don't know. I was brought up in a Christian family, and I turned against it purely and simply because I saw the way that the church was treating certain people and not treating others, and it was the whole sectarian side of it, and it just wasn't for me really. So I moved away from that. I brought my colouring pens and pen.
Hey, Robert.
Hiya, Robert. And that's what I did. So, hiya, William.
Hi, William.
Well, sir. So, like everybody else, I have an avid love and passion for nature, and obviously we're part of nature, so a passion for humanity. I know I moan about them a lot, but we all do that. But and I try and live my life according to the remit of paganism. So it's like that. It's just love and acceptance of everybody, and admiration and a love for nature. And I believe that nature is the pinnacle. It's the everything. It's the answer to everything, and it's a question to everything as well. And And that's where I'm at now. I know, Tim, you're like that yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I suppose I was the last. Well, we all were the last sort of generation. When I went to school, it weren't so multicultural as it is now, was it? It was
no.
Christianity. We used to have our prayers and that in the mornings at school, and taught Christianity in RE. And you know, because the teacher was telling us this about RE, you believe what your teacher said was true, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, they didn't say might be, this heaven and what have you. We all thought it was true.
Yeah.
Teacher's telling us it's true. There's God and all this business. It weren't till I got a bit older and I made my own mind up, about things as I matured. But yeah, it was forced down our neck at school a little bit. Although it wasn't a religious school, but yeah, you're right. I've always felt that way, and since I used to go out with my granddad every day because he was retired, and for walks in nature, and it's my church. I love being out there.
Yeah,
and he took it. I mean, I do know quite a lot about wildlife, and I know all the plants and such because he taught me.
Yeah.
And because I was so young, I think I started going out with him when I was about 18 months old. It sticks then, doesn't it?
It does. And I think, you know what? I think that a lot of people, what annoys me with paganism now so much is a lot of people wear it as a costume.
Yeah.
They profess to be pagans, but they're in the essence of them tends not to be. I mean, for example, I went to, on Sunday, I went to, it was Mabon, and I went to celebrate that.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, and I was not impressed, to be honest with you, because I turned up. There was quite a few people there. There was a lot of women there, of a certain age, which is fine. I haven't got a problem with that. It's not a problem. But we went there, and there was no acceptance from them. They didn't get involved with us. They didn't want to talk to us. They completely ignored us. They kept their own clique. They kept their own way. And I said to Hazel, "This is what I would call a costume paganism. This isn't the essence of paganism. This is not what it is. These are people that caught it because they think it's a cool thing to do. They're not doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it for, I guess, even at their age, is a way of rebelling against society. And it's not for that. It's a religion in its own right. It's a belief in its own right, and therefore it should be treated as such."
Yeah.
But and they didn't, and it put me off, and I came away, and I was very down about it. And then in the end, I thought to myself, you know what? If that's their perception of it, and that's what they choose to do, that's entirely up to them. At the end of the day, everybody's answerable to themselves, aren't they? And they've got to be answerable to themselves at the end of the day. So long as I know that I'm trying to do it the best way I can, I know I fail miserably, but as long as I try and do it the best way I can and keep on that page, the proper page paganism, then I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
What was that one, Eric? Sorry, Noreen said. What was that?
Tried to get on.
Oh yeah, the internet's playing up. Sorry about that, Noreen. The internet's
playing
up tonight.
And our last one, it cut off the whole thing on the spooky page, but played it on things, the whole thing.
Yes, we've had a couple of instances as well where I think it was who was it? It was Lo who told me that that they hadn't recorded it for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm glad she pointed it out because I had no idea that it was happening. But so thanks, Lo, if you're out there. So anyway, that's what it was. I thought that they wore it as a costume and it was a little bit upsetting, particularly because I have a family with me, and I'm not so bothered for myself, but I brought my children along to get involved in it. It is exactly a way of life, exactly. And the thing is that for them, they ignored them and they're little kids, and I thought that's really not the way to do it. They had things like wand making and stuff like that, which is nice, and I walked over with my little one with Fox and tried to get him involved in it and picked a wand up. And 3 times he was ignored by these women, and they just came up to deal with other women that were there. And it was kind of like, well, this is. So I said, look, we'll go. So I wasn't there for very long, but never mind. That's down to them. We all got our own rafts to ride in this world, And if that's the way they want to choose to ride their raft, then that's entirely up to them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but I think that, you know, you've also got things, I think it conflates it as well. You've got a lot of people, when I talk about the costume again, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying there's a huge contingency of people out there that call themselves witches, they call themselves warlocks. Well, warlock's a wrong name anyway, because warlock actually means oath breaker. And that's what they used to call these people. The real name for them are cunning men and cunning women. These are people that used to work in environments of villages and stuff like that. And they used to mete out things like medication with herbs. These are women and men as well that used to, particularly women at this point, that used to actually bring other children into the world. And they would be the people that you would go to because there was a sort of a low account of money. So people couldn't afford to go to see a doctor. So you go and see the local wise woman or the local village cunning woman or cunning man, you know. And obviously people, as time gets on, people conflate that with witchcraft and witches, which actually is really very little or nothing to do with it. But this is where you got people like Gerald Gardner and stuff like that, which they came about in the sort of 50s and 60s or 40s even. And they created this, what do you call it? They created, can't remember the name of it now, Wiccan. Wiccan, which is it's not really witchcraft in the sense that, because to witchcraft itself, exactly, William. Witchcraft itself is something that is sort of Judeo-Christianity thing, you know, demons, gods, angels, and all that, God, angel, that. Whereas with paganism, it's an entirely different perception or concept. Not to say there were a lot of people of that period that were pagans, or that were witches or not witches, but were cunning men and cunning women that were also Christian. You know, people think that it conflates and it goes against that, but no, there were a lot that were Christian. In the South, we have a problem with Christians. I don't understand how someone could be. Yeah, I think exactly. Do you guys have to deal with that? And yeah, we do. I think it's a global thing, Catherine. Sadly, it's not, you know, taking on somebody else's belief system or not giving them, not respecting it. But anyway, that's what it was. And you've got things like, as I say, you've got Gerald Gardner and people like that came along with this whole Wiccan spiel and idea. And now what you've got is you've got a lot of people that are buying into Wiccan, and people come along and say, well, I'm a witch and I'm this and I'm a pagan and I'm that. Well, you can be both. But by the same token, I think that not all of them, but I think there are a lot of people out there that profess to be witches or Wiccans because they like the idea of being a witch or a Wiccan.
Yeah.
It's not that they're really that. It's just that they like the idea of being that. You know, it's like a shock value or whatever. I don't know. But as I'm saying, there are a lot of people out there that do it for the right reasons. But it's not for me. I mean, if you go back far enough, when you go back to, I don't know, you go back to sort of prehistory and that, it was all paganism, wasn't it? Globally, it was paganism.
Yeah, it's the oldest.
You know, you know, it's just country ways, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
You know, it's country ways. It's the ways of the old country. So
well, the days of the weaker.
Exactly, nay.
You know, based on Saxon gods. If you go back to Saxon times, aren't they? You got Thor's Day and Woden's Day and
all of that.
The Roman Sunday's the sun, Monday's the moon.
Yeah, Romans used to celebrate
Saturday for Saturday.
Yeah. And that is it all relates back to that. I mean, that's the thing as well. I mean, I look at a lot of. I'm not knocking it. I mean, it's entirely up to. But I've had Christians that have been not down on me, but have thought that I've probably been because you say you're a pagan or you credit yourself as a pagan. Then what they tend to do is they tend to look at you like you shouldn't be touched. You shouldn't go near that person because they're negative. They've got bad energy or what have you.
Exactly.
And then I look at them and I look at the church and I look at a lot of the church services and a lot of the actions that the church carry out, and it's originally paganism. Yeah. You know, a lot of this stuff. I saw, for example, I went to a church one day, and this guy, he was a reverend there, and he was really ardent, a real dyed-in-the-wall Christian. You know, everything outside of Christianity was negative and not to be touched or gone there, and it was evil and it was this. And I saw him marry a couple, and he did the tying of the hands.
Yeah, a lot of them do that.
And I said to them, I didn't think you like paganism. They said, well, we don't.
Yeah,
that's
like
paganism. I went, well, what you just did is completely like pure paganism. You know, like a lot of it. You know.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the church, most of the churches are on pagan sites, aren't they? Hence the yew trees.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you got to remember that.
When I say that I don't believe in the Christian gods, they usually come back with, yeah, exactly. It's not that at all. Well, you're going to hell. Yeah. And when I tell them I don't believe in the devil, heaven or hell, they don't know how to respond. It's like, that's exactly, yeah.
Well, it's a fear. It was a fear thing. It was to keep the masses under control.
And it is, isn't it? It's basically, you know that when you see a church, I mean, the whole thing about you go to a church and you point out to people that if you look at when you go, I mean, particularly in old, most of them are old over here, aren't they now? But you look at the way that the pulpit is here, and then you've got, I suppose, what would you call them, boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're set slightly higher than the rest of them. And that was because the people that had those boxes were generally the landed gentry that had built the churches, instilled the religion there, and they looked down upon their workers. So they set themselves up as a hierarchy within the church as well.
Yeah.
And you know, they set themselves up as just below God, you know, and it galls me a lot, really. But and as you say, a lot of that land was taken over by Christians and by Christianity because they wanted to utilize it. They wanted to stamp out paganism, pagan beliefs, and they didn't. All they did was make it go underground. And it's not even gone underground, really. I had a group of Americans following me around telling everyone I was into the black arts, and I'm here. Oh, I know, Nettie. I know.
You know, what really? When I remember when I was about 14 or 15, and it was the middle of winter, and there was this homeless man, and he was sat outside this church, and it was raining, and it was cold, real cold in the winter. And he looked really ill. He got nowhere to go. And then next to him, there's this massive church, massive church, locked up, doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, would Jesus really want this? Wouldn't he open that door and let that man into shelter?
Yeah.
There's all these churches, massive big places, and there's these homeless people and people that, for no fault, that I know some of them may have, but a lot of them, for no fault their own, sat there in the cold. And the point isn't religious people about love and helping people like this?
Yeah. You would think so, wouldn't you? You would think so.
You know?
And you're right. And I mean, even if it weren't to hand them buildings over, to cost the running of those buildings and the ownership of those buildings, they're on prime real estate. They're worth millions. You know? It's like, what pisses me off is it's like the Vatican. Outside the Vatican, there's loads of paupers and there's loads of people that are living.
Exactly. That's exactly what point I'm trying to make.
They go and shoo them away.
Yeah.
With all their gold, I'm sure this isn't what Christ was
gold
teaching.
on their fingers.
Yeah.
This is, you know, you shouldn't knock other people's religion, and I'm not.
No, it's not. No.
I'd just like to know answers. If they can explain to me how this is, you know, because Jesus is not what it is now. What I got from it, what he was saying, is not how it is.
Yep. No, it's entirely different. It's entirely different. I mean, you've got
they're selfish.
Yeah, and even you've got the church now. I mean, you've got vicars in the church that don't even believe in God.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, okay, how's that one work then?
The way I understand the actual thing is that Jesus didn't want us to follow him. He wanted us to be like him.
Yes, exactly that. And that's the thing, you know, and that's a very pagan way of being, isn't it? Don't follow me.
I believe that there was Jesus. I do believe there was somebody called Jesus.
Yeah, there definitely was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was. There's proof of that. There's physical proof of that.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's horrible. It's horrible.
But our religion is now. It's not how he wanted it to be.
Yeah.
No.
That's exactly right.
I mean, he threw the moneylenders out of the synagogue, didn't he?
Yeah.
he turned over the tables, didn't he, in anger, because he said it was not a place for making money. And yet you look at the church, what they do is make money.
Yeah.
They were saying that there's enough, there's enough money in the Vatican and the Catholic Church to cure world hunger over 4 times and still have enough left to run all of your buildings and everything else. And you think to yourself, that how and why? Why is it? You know what I mean? It's too many greedy people at the helm of these things, I think.
That's
and I
right.
think they've taken something that was probably pure and turned it into something that's a little bit nefarious and a little bit grubby. Not the religion, but the way that they've handled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Nettie said, they do. There's loads of them sitting around that Vatican, and they shoot them away at the end of the day. And it's like, well, how do you equate that in your head? How do you equate that with Christianity?
Yeah.
So Noreen says, I'm not against any religion, but what you were saying is true. It makes me wild the way some so-called Christians or Catholics treat others. Yeah, they certainly don't follow the teachings. They just use the religion to make out they're superior to others. Yeah.
I know there are. I know there are a lot of. I mean, I've known a few vicars, and they're lovely people, and they do try to help people. In their.
Do you know what? There are probably lots of good people.
It's higher up, isn't it? It's higher up.
It's higher up, and the higher it gets, unfortunately, it's like government, isn't it? The higher it gets, the more corrupt it becomes, because power does corrupt, doesn't it? How can someone be like Jesus? Human nature prevents it, no matter how you turn it. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right, and that's the whole point, isn't it? They say that he gave you he gave you choice, didn't he, so that you could make choices with your life.
Yeah.
So, and if you make the wrong choices, that's entirely down to you. But yeah, you're right. There have been some amazing people out there, amazing people from all religions.
Think about it. Some people are already doing some of the stuff that you did back then, healing with hands. When a psychic does healing, use your hands.
Yeah.
Well, I've always said, when they say to you, I mean, I've been said, oh, you shouldn't be doing, I don't do spells and things like that. And they say, you shouldn't be doing spells and you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. And my answer to that is, well, don't you go into a church and pray?
It's the same
thing. You pray to turn things to your advantage. And is that not a spell in a way? Is that not asking for something? Is that not pleading with God to benefit you? Then how is that different from what somebody doing a spell to benefit themselves? I know it's all there, but there are some that are really hippie. There are. The word stuff, little drink company says it. Yeah, exactly, Nettie, exactly. And that's the thing. And I think that, if Christ were to come back, I think that he would be well and truly angry with what's going on now. Definitely. If he does ever come back, I think they're in for a shock. Yeah. I'd like to see their faces, to be honest.
But, well, we seem to be going on to knocking Christianity, don't we? But
it's not knocking Christianity.
We're not.
No, there's lots of lovely Christians. There's lots of lovely Muslims. There's lots of lovely Hindus. There's lots of lovely people in every religion, and there are people within the religions that live it to the T, and they do it properly, and they do it with love in their hearts. What we're saying is that the essence of the religion itself is being bastardized.
You're putting down the words in better than I can, Dan.
Do you know what I mean? It's been
yeah.
But it's been tainted.
This one,
it goes against my instinct. Yeah. And there's not many people who do that, Catherine, is there?
Well, I do constantly.
What's that? Sorry, Eric.
I refuse to pick up a gun to defend myself to kill somebody else. I refuse to shoot something to eat it. I refuse to fight back because it's not my way.
No, and if you like that, you like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's there's nothing wrong with that, But it's just, I think I don't know. It's all. I mean, you've only got to look at society now, and going off to, but the way that it's all warmongering. The reason they warmonger is because there's money in it. I think it's rife in all religions. It's some people's interpretation. It's exactly right, Noreen. It's interpretation. It's an interpretation. I'm not knocking it. I'm just trying to understand how it could possibly be. No, exactly, Catherine. It's exactly that. On it, it's that. But I mean,
then again, you got to go look back at all the gods that are or things that they've talked about throughout history, we've all said the same thing: be nice to each other, be kind to each other, love each other, do right by each other.
Do you know my dad? He was pretty odd actually, because I mean he'd be getting on today. He'd be over 100 today if he were alive. God love him. But he was brought up as a Christian and that as a kid, but his mantra was, you know what? So it doesn't matter so long as you're decent to everybody and try and be kind to everybody, then it doesn't matter. That's all. That's the best you can do. You're doing your best as a human being, and it doesn't matter what your religion is, your belief system. So long as you're nice and kind and loving,
that's the whole essence of it.
That's it. You know.
Yeah.
And he used to say, I mean, a man that was brought up with Christianity, he said to me one day, you know, if you want to see God, you don't need to go into a church.
No.
Go out into the nature. Go out into the creation of it. You know, go out into the that's like that is the pinnacle of God.
Yeah.
You know?
I know it helps me. If you feel down in the dumps, which I have done recently, obviously. I go out I quite often go out on my mountain bike and go, and I'll just sit and listen, and within half an hour you feel 10 times better.
You do. Yeah. It's amazing how a little walk through a woodland or a sit down in the countryside, completely and utterly, you leave it and it's all forgotten, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think it's true. Go on, mate. Sorry.
It's getting harder and harder to find places where there's no roads and it's quiet. Where I live, it is. When I lived in Wales and Cornwall and Devon and that, it was pretty easy to get away from.
Oh, you're never more than 10 minutes bloody walk from the countryside in Devon and Cornwall and that, are you?
No.
Wales.
I mean, it's not that far, but when you sit and listen, you can nearly always hear vehicles in the distance somehow.
Yeah. But it's like people. I think that 99% of people are decent. I don't think. You know, all right, they might have their quirks, they might do, but you know what? Who am I to say? I'm just the same. I've got my quirks, and I've got things that I do that I know aren't particularly nice. You know, and I try and pull myself up when I see myself doing it or succumbing to it. People not going to this time, but I'm my arse and so called good book.
Oh dear.
We've set Nettie off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Norse pagan. If it were legal, I would go Viking. Well, yeah. And nobody should have the right to tell you can't.
I used to do reenactment. On Saxon reenactment and Viking. Right? Absolutely loved it. And we used to spend the night in it was up in Dudley where we used to do it. We had a village and everything. But I'm still learning, but Old English. I'm learning Old English, and I've been doing it for years.
Oh, that's amazing!
I love it.
Like Chaucer's English, that type of thing.
No, old English, Saxon.
The old. Oh, yeah. It's amazing,
not Middle English. That's Chaucer's Middle English.
Middle English.
No, old English. Yeah.
There's a guy online. He's a young guy. I've watched him quite a few times, and he does. He's a old English.
Is it Leo Fritz or something? Like
he's quite young, or he looks young.
Yeah. I know
looks like
you mean.
He's about 25, 30, something like that.
Yeah.
But my God, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's quite beautiful, actually.
Yeah, it is. I know a little bit. And I forgot what I was going to say now. It's gone out me. See, I told you it started. I've got on set, everybody.
I'll tell you, I'll do exactly the same. I'll do exactly the same. Do you know what? Somebody asked me a little while back, what's your name? And I thought it was a trick question. I couldn't freaking think of my name.
You didn't know what your name was?
And I turned around the ways and I went, right, that's it. Time's coming.
Oh dear.
But yeah, no.
I've always been heavily into the Green Man. I love it.
Yes, yeah, me as well.
I've got a massive tattoo on my neck of him.
Yeah, I've got one here. Yeah,
I've just tattooed the woodwoes on my leg.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, it's actually Erik could call it a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch.
I saw it. You put it online, didn't you? Put a photo.
Oh yeah,
lovely.
I call them. We call them woodwows in. Well, most people do.
Yeah.
Woodwows in England and.
Yeah, fellow woman, fellow man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Go on.
How someone could believe? Oh, I missed that.
Hold on, I'll put it back up.
Yeah. I
Fascinating.
But you know, I love them old. I love the old stories, and I was in to the Green Man on the advert.
Oh, the Green Cross Code Man.
Does she mean the Jolly Green Giant?
Oh, it might have been that, or was it the Green Cross Code Man? That was the one who played Darth Vader, wasn't it?
Darth Vader, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Man's Inhuman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they say for all mankind, not humankind.
Yes, exactly. But no, I'm like you. I'm heavily into the Green Man and that, and I'm very much about, you know, nature, loving nature.
I have to be. I grew up in nature. I grew up in the woods. I went out from probably age 8 every day after school. Went out in the woods until dark time.
Well, you're amongst a living thing, aren't you? Because it's all living and breathing. All of nature is living and breathing, isn't it? You know, the woods, the rivers, the seas, oceans, mountains.
Yeah. Well, it was so in tune that I walked 5 feet from a deer and didn't even know it was there until it poked up its head. So obviously you didn't hear me, which is a natural thing for a deer to listen to predators, you know.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's all everything about nature, every aspect of nature, every inkling of nature, every leaf in nature, every drop of water in nature is an intelligence. It's a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't seem to be able to grab that concept.
No.
And I grew up with no self-preservation because I used to climb 200, 300-foot trees with no problem, not caring if I fell out and died. So,
was there a giant?
You don't know fear when you're kids. You don't think about it, do you?
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. But you know, when you're a kid and you think to yourself, you know what, you had the Green Cross Code Man. It was, yeah. When you're a kid and you're out playing in nature and that, you're never happier.
No.
If you think about it, you're never happy. You come home content. You sleep the night away.
Yeah.
You don't even want to go indoors. You're outside. You're playing with your mates. You're running around the woods. You're running around the forest, down by the rivers. You know, you go fishing with your mates.
It's a shame that don't happen anymore.
It doesn't seem to, does it? It doesn't seem to. And I think that's why people. I mean, I don't know if it is the case or not, but it seems to me that seems to be an aspect of why people, not everybody, but a lot of people have become selfish. Because they've moved away from the truth. They've moved away from the meaning of something, you know, into something that has no meaning.
Me too, Catherine. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go.
Got to go. You got to go, isn't you? It's terrifying, you know. But as my mum used to say, it's not when you go, it's how you go.
Yeah,
that's the thing that's got, you know. Oh yeah,
I don't know much about evangelists.
Oh, they're heavy going. Heavy going. I mean, you know what? Good luck to them. But they're very forceful. Yeah. And they're not. A lot of evangelists aren't. What's that? Is it West? I don't know. Are they evangelists, William? The Westboro Baptist Church in America. My God! Now that's the personification of evil.
We get a lot coming round the houses around here where I am.
Yeah.
You know. Preacher, but my daughter's got a sign on the front door, so
they do, Robert, but not
to bother.
Not all the time.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I'm going disgraceful. It's the best. It's the only way, isn't it? It's the only way.
Yes. You're only here a little while. You got to enjoy yourself and help other people and be kind.
You're here for a little while. Make it a good while.
Yes,
Trump
he is.
Evangelical. Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know Trump was evangelical. I didn't know.
Now that everybody said it anyways, I'll put it up.
Trump.
Yeah, I didn't know he was evangelical.
But no, I'll probably end up dying, falling off an old building or something.
Yeah, you know vampire might get you.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. If I'm not living the way my God likes, he will burn me the rest of our ways. If Odin told us that, we'd put an axe in his face and call it a day. Yeah. I don't think that I don't think a loving God would put that kind of legislation on you.
No,
I
of
think
course
that
not.
those negative connotations are purely and simply put there by man to control you. I mean, if you can take the doctrine or you can take the dogma of something and turn it for your own will, then bad men are going to, aren't they?
Exactly.
You know, there are a lot of decent people out there that are Christian, a lot of decent people out there that are Muslim or Hindu or whatever your religion is, Buddhist or whatever. That's not religion, is it? It's a philosophy. But you know, there's a lot of decent people out there, and they try and live their lives accordingly. They try and live their lives with love, and they try and live their lives with respect.
Unfortunately, the media and the news don't want to tell you any good stuff. They just thrive on bad news, don't they?
I think the reason they do that is because they're owned by the precious few, aren't they? And the precious few want to control you, and how to control the narrative of something is through the media. That's
exactly what I said at the beginning.
Yeah, you own the media, then you own the people.
Because religion don't work anymore, they've done it that way.
Exactly that. They've got to find a way of controlling you, and so they're going to do it for the media. Like you said earlier, it's a new religion, which is absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. But you know, I just wish that, you know, it doesn't matter what your religion is. I don't care what your religion is. If you're a decent person, you're a decent person.
Yeah.
And respect churches low for the entire stuff. Oh, I've never. Have you ever seen them? Have you seen them, Tim?
I have.
No.
You have. You might. Horrendous. The things they do is horrendous. They have signs with like they go to like soldiers' funerals. They're coming back from Iraq and stuff. Signs with soldiers are fags and God will do this and God will do that and you will do and it's some vicious
very
stuff.
Like Old Testament.
Proper. But the guy that ran it, I mean, you looked at him. The guy that ran it, he was interviewed by what's his name? The guy over here. The guy who does all the interviews people. The glasses, tall fella. Can't think of his name now.
Exactly in there.
He interviewed him.
Right.
My God, he was spitting nastiness. You could see it coming out of him. He looked what he was. To the point where a lot of his granddaughters just got the chance and buggered off away from him. Yeah, you're better off keeping away from the TV and news. It's all controlled. You don't want to be near that, you know. And I think it makes for a more level-headed, better person to keep away from that crap. Is that Welsh, Nico? I don't know what that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll get Tim to try and work that out because he can speak Old English. I don't know if it is or not.
It's a fact. The hardest thing with it, I mean, I love doing it, and I've got a few people, but it's finding someone else to speak to because not many people obviously know about it. But
you think that they would teach that in schools, wouldn't you? I know we teach sort of Gaelic and stuff in Wales, and they teach in Scotland, they teach Scottish and stuff like that, and which I think is great. I think it's lovely. I think those languages shouldn't die.
Well, I think so too.
I studied the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which Alfred the Great started, and it's a fascinating book, and you can read it and in Old English as well, and cross-reference. It's a fabulous book to read.
I've heard of it. I've never looked into it. I've read
the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. It starts from when they first came to Britain and right up to the 1066.
Yeah. When William the Conqueror came over.
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
Anglo-Saxon Chronicle is fabulous to read.
I'll tell you the one I used to like, which was Beowulf.
Yeah.
That was there was a poem, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that's written in Old English.
That was Old English, yeah. My boy's obsessed with that. He loves it. Sorry, what did Catherine say? Lovely Catherine. I met them at a Pride one year. I'm willing to bet every penny I have and will have on Philip being so strongly in the closet. Yeah, you know what, Catherine? you're probably not wrong. They're probably frightened of the fact that they are. Because they're indoctrinated, haven't they? Been indoctrinated since an early age. But it's interesting, that, isn't it? It's interesting. But yeah, it's so paganism is like we were saying. It's the origin. Paganism is not unique to England. It's a global thing, isn't it? I mean, pagan is just any other religion basically that doesn't fall into the category of judo. Judo Christianity or what have you.
You've only got to look at the cave drawings, haven't you? Cave paintings.
Yeah.
It started then, and you can see that they're worshipping like the heavens and such.
Which makes you think, you look at things like Stonehenge and stuff like that. I mean, they still don't really know what the origins of it were or what it's for. But it's amazing that they came out the other day, and I think they've said it for a while now. It's definitely got something to do with the movements of the planets.
Oh yeah,
and it's definitely got something to do with
it's all in line,
the way that it's
lined
up.
It?
Yeah. It's definitely there for some form of worship. I mean, for God's sake, they thought it was a burial ground at one point, didn't they? Because there was so many urns with ashes there. I promise you that Philip is power bottom. I mean, what?
Who's Philip? Which Philip?
He's one of the Westboro lot.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, they're so. When somebody's definitely something, and they say you protest too much.
Yeah,
and it means you probably are.
Yeah.
He protests too much about gay people, so chances are he probably is. You know what I mean? It's like because what reason would you have for having it down, having a why would you have a problem with somebody because of their sexuality? You wouldn't, unless you wanted to hide the fact that you were. But yes, what were we talking about? Sorry, who was saying?
Did you turn your light off?
Who's that? Your light?
Yeah, the light just went off. I just turned it back on.
Oh, well, fair enough. That paganism has been around forever, and and we say you look at and even like Newgrange in Ireland. My brother went over there and he saw Newgrange. And that brother passed, and the other brother, and they said that there's a certain time you can see as the sun comes up at a certain time. I guess it's solstice. The sun hits it and then comes through and then lights everything up.
Yes,
and it's like to see it is meant to be phenomenal. And you think to yourself, well, you're looking again thousands and thousands of years old, and they built that knowing. I mean, the technology, you probably couldn't get away with doing that today.
No.
If you said to somebody today, well, you build that without machines, even with machines, and make it exactly like that, they probably couldn't replicate it to the point, that it is today, that it was then.
No, they're amazing feats of achievement. I mean, like a lot of the stones at Stonehenge come from Wales, didn't they?
Yeah, they come from the Prestley Mountains, didn't they? The Prestley Mountains.
How the hell they got them there? God.
Do you know what you look at some of? I mean, they said, "Oh, they've got them here this way and they've got them here that way," and you think, really? That doesn't seem right to me. Because you take into consideration there was no roads then.
No,
it was all up and down and over mountain, over
and wooded.
And all woods. I mean, the whole of England was woods, wasn't it? Then the whole of Europe was nothing but woods.
How the hell did they get? And I mean, it's just mind blowing.
It is. I mean, another one that blows me away is Avebury. I mean, you look at the size of it. There's a village built into the middle of it, which shows you how big it is. And you look at it and you think yourself,
I've never been there. You've
got to go there.
I must go.
I prefer
it to Stonehenge. Well, if you don't go this year.
I prefer it to Stonehenge. Much.
Yeah.
It's got a...
Well, you can't get near Stonehenge now, can you?
No. We were there the other week, and it's sad you can't get anywhere near it.
See, this is another thing that annoys me. I mean, I went up to Castleton, and there's a cave system there called the Devil's Arse.
Yeah.
And I thought, go and have a look at that. And I walked up to it, and there's all gates been put on the front of it, and they wanted £27 to go in.
Really?
And I thought, hang on a minute, somebody's took this and said, I'm having this.
And I'm going to put a gate on it and charge
And I'm putting a gate on it, and I'm going to charge everyone else £27. Now, come on. That's
and they said, we're doing the same. They said, we're going to put stone. What we're going to do, we're going to do the Stonehenge. We're going to protect it. Well, yeah, okay, people did go around it. It was at certain times of the year. people never really abused it.
No.
The people that went to see it and celebrate.
I mean, I know you might paint on it. You might get these little oiks that might spray paint on it, but you can't. How many tons do they weigh?
Oh God!
They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing to them stones.
No, they're massive, aren't they? They weigh hundreds of tons, don't they? You're thousands.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't.
They're just making money again, aren't they?
It's just a way of making money.
Yeah.
And it makes me look at it. You look at it and you think to yourself, well, I'm sure it weren't set up with this. As soon as you go in, you pay your 20 quid or whatever it is, you got to walk for a gift shop. And you think to yourself, this is taking the piss.
Yeah.
This is turning a religion or turning a belief system and a religion into a business.
It's bad.
And they're telling you, the cheeky bastards, that they're doing it for the benefit of the stones.
Yeah.
And you think, no, you're not. You're doing it to line your own pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Avebury. You can walk up to them. Avebury, walk around and do what you want,
Most of them you can't you? Apart from, I should think Stonehenge is the only one you have to pay, isn't it?
Yeah, there's another one. I can't think where it is. It's up. Oh God.
There's hundreds of them, isn't there?
There's one. It's a field. I keep meaning to go to it. Viv went to it a little while back, actually, and I keep meaning to go to it, but for some reason I never get the opportunity, or something else crops up. It's a field. So you go for a style, and then you go into it. But they put a box in now. You've got to pay to go in and see it, and it's in a field, and you think, what are you doing? You cheeky bastards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then we went. I mean, we went to see when we were in York a little while back. We said, well, we'll go in and look at the cathedral there because it's an impressive building. It's a medieval building. It's impressive. It's nice to look at the architecture and admire the craftsmanship. And they wanted 30 quid.
Yeah.
And we walked in. I said, oh no. I said, I don't think God put
no.
For you to pay 30 quid to go in and admire it, you cheeky bastards. It's built out of the money, the people's money anyway.
Cheeky sots.
It's like that, And and that's it. I think that's the thing. Most of the temples in Greece were free to visit. See, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? In Greece, they're not ripping people off. Lourdes is another one, isn't it? They charge a fortune for.
Bloody hell. Yeah, Jesus, he needs to come back and sort them all out.
He does. He needs to come back and kick some butt, as they say.
Yeah, kick some butt.
Kick some butt. Catherine said, if Christian God came down from his cloud and told them that homosexuality wasn't something that he gave a shit about, old Philly would be in a gay bar before the sentence fully left Sky Daddy's lips.
Oh dear!
I love Catherine. Christianity isn't a business. So yes, and all of those self-appointed preachers, we have them over here as well.
Yeah,
we have them over here. They rip you off at the drop of a hat. Well, let's be honest. A lot of not as you say, there's a lot of good people that are Christians. There's a lot of good priests, vicars, what have you, that are decent, good people.
Yeah,
but it's the ones at the top that have turned it into a multinational.
Yeah, the head honcho.
It wouldn't surprise me if you walked into a medieval church over here now and there was a freaking franchise at McDonald's up by the altar, or a cinema tickets to go through, and it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, then again,
most of the churches are locked up, aren't they?
They are.
I mean, you can understand there are a lot of people that would vandalise them, but if he's not on.
Yep.
But
I'm waiting for the zombie apocalypse. I have knives to prove it.
Oh, they got banned over here. They banned them over here.
Yeah, I know.
They've banned the knives over here and they've banned the swords over here, but they haven't banned the people that it's not the swords that cause the problem.
No.
It's the people that carry them.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, they're going to get hold of them whether they're illegal or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to shoot. I used to shoot handguns.
Oh, that's right. You were saying, yeah.
And I obviously
They
they
put a
banned
block
them,
on that, didn't
they?
they?
They banned them. It was now the criminals have got them, and people who just do target shooting because haven't got one now, and it has made a slight bit of difference in crime.
No. When they put it, they took all the gun licenses away under. Was it Michael?
Yeah.
Was it Michael Ryan?
Yeah.
With the shot up in Hungerford, didn't he?
Like you said, it's not the tool, it's the person that's.
It's the person. It's the person. You know, I've known plenty of people that have had guns over the years, level-headed, intelligent people with no fly.
Yeah.
You know, all right, they might go hunting and what have you. That's entirely down to you. You want to do that?
Yeah,
you know,
I wouldn't do that. I used to just go target shooting.
Yeah, which is people do. It's competition sport, isn't it?
It's in the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. And yet everybody suffers. Three of my best friends in the world are all Christians. They know that I'm not, and we still. Yeah, that's the way it should be, Catherine. That's the way it should be. Doesn't matter what someone's religion is or what someone's sexual proclivity is. It's minor things.
I can fix that.
What's that?
Practice training swords.
Yeah, see, exactly. The training. I didn't know they were hard to get hold of the training swords, Nico. But they not let you have them.
But I don't see how, because they have leagues over there for fighting for knights. So you should be able to.
Can't you do fencing anymore then?
Yeah, there's no idea.
No idea.
I know they do.
And yet you can go out and you can get a crossbow.
Yeah.
Which is
nuts.
It's mental. You know, I mean, we had that bloke over here, didn't we, up there where I live, who killed his girlfriend, her sister, and his mother a few weeks ago with a crossbow. And but they've not said about banning them.
Because of what?
Schools, you can't go into one because of Oh yeah, that was sad, wasn't it? That was awful.
Was awful, yeah.
That was the kiddies, wasn't it? Love them. Then the teacher stepped in front of them, didn't she? She took her. That's a brave woman. Yeah. Yes, dole blades for HEMA have been difficult getting bought. Wow. Yeah. I wonder if you can still get hold of the. That don't surprise me, Catherine.
I made a few swords.
I wonder if you can get. Can you still get hold of the what do they call them? The ornamental ones over here now.
We used to have them in the Saxon reenactment.
Yeah. Well, surely the reenactment people, you can't say to them, "Oh, you've got to run around with a bloody rubber sword."
Well, you could, but you shouldn't.
I've got.
Yes, Robert. Catapult with a steel marble is lethal.
I know. Oh no, I'm going to go into that now. I'll tell you later.
That's all right. I knew you would, Catherine. I'm surprised you probably got an arsenal at home. Loads and loads of weaponry everywhere. I know the type of person you are, Catherine.
Yeah, I want to show you something real quick. If I can find it.
What you got?
It's probably got an assault rifle. They're allowed them, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Take it easy, Lorna. Take it easy.
Bye.
Cat got an AK-47. Yeah, you know, Robert. You know.
This will always be my favorite creation.
Oh, that's cool. Did you make that?
Yep.
That's cool.
Oh.
It's like an executioner's thing, isn't it?
Actually, it's a throwing axe. It's perfectly designed and perfectly balanced.
Well, when you come over, don't bring it with you.
No, I've got to make a mental note. Don't piss Eric off.
We'll confiscate them all at the airport.
You won't get out the airport.
I knew you would, Catherine. I knew you would. Take it easy, Lorna.
It's 8 o'clock already. Gosh.
Wow. It doesn't surprise me, Catherine. Doesn't surprise me. Why I love you. Give it time, Robbie.
Thanks, Nick.
Very nice, Eric.
Yeah.
That is cool, Eric. Right, well, that went quickly. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining us.
It did, didn't it? It did.
It shot by, didn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Remember, listen to everything I say, but take no notice because I do tend to talk a lot of bullshit. So,
wow.
Leave half the stuff that we say.
But take it easy. I just want to say tomorrow night we've got Nettie, what's it called? Do you know what? What is up with me?
I can't remember. I can't remember.
I'll tell you, I'm doing it now.
Freaky Friday, but I don't know who they have on.
Freaky Friday. So we've got Nettie, we've got young Ian, and we got
Catherine.
Young
Yeah, you got come on, Catherine.
Yes, Catherine, we're going to get you on. Definitely.
We'll have a weapon off, Catherine. I'll bring all my knives and swords out. You can bring all yours out.
Me and Catherine I'm gonna move close to Catherine because she can protect me. You got all the weapons.
Dude, I can protect you. I can teach you how to protect yourself with your hands.
Somebody needs to teach me how to protect. I couldn't
teach you. If you go out with me, I will teach you.
I have trouble fighting a cold, mate, let alone.
I'll get you there, trust me.
I'm what they're known as a pussy. Is that?
As long as I can open my bottle of wine, I'm happy.
There you go. That's all you need to do, mate. That's all you need to do.
It's much better now they don't have corks in them anymore. I used to struggle with the cork.
Oh, and they're screwed now, aren't they? Which is nice.
Yeah, they got tops now.
I need to be taught. I've got no idea. I couldn't protect myself.
I'll be able to teach you sooner than probably she will. So.
Do you know what I used to be? I was all right a few years ago because I was thin and I could run, but I'm stuffed now. I'll get you a ball like a hedgehog.
I'll get you thin and running again, Dan. Trust me.
I don't want to be.
So we've got Nettie tomorrow, which is great. With as I say, with Ian and young Bri. And then on Saturday, I believe is William's on Saturday, isn't he? Has William got something?
He might be because he had to cancel last one, so I don't.
Oh, so he might do. So young William, Metaphysical Insights, he should hopefully be on Saturday. Sunday we've got Nettie again. She's doing the oh, for God's sake, what is it? I'm gonna have to write it down, like an auto cue.
Yeah, I should be writing this down more than anybody.
But Nettie's on again Sunday with Nettie. What is it, please, if you can tell me? And then on Monday we've got the Boys in the Dark Mirror back, and they will be talking everything alien, everything UFO. All of them are good shows. Tomorrow night, I love our Friday show with Nettie and the boys.
Yeah,
he's always fun, always interesting, and I enjoy it. It starts the weekend off just right. So everybody out there, take care of yourselves, stay safe, love one another, don't let the bastards grind you down, and don't watch too much television or the news because it's full of bollocks.
Yeah.
And we will see you on the other side.
And as Alan used to say, may your God go with you.
May your God go with you, which I always think is a good way to start. Exactly. Nice one, Tim. Right, guys, thanks ever so much.
Have a good night.
Bye.